All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, babies. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Rome Wilkerson. Guys, I'm coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot and humid state of Texas. I forgot to turn one of my lights on. Give me a second. I'll get it. Don't tell Richard. Don't tell Richard. All right, guys. I want to welcome you all to the stream, guys. We got a lot to get to on this Monday. Is it Monday? Yes, this Monday day. Ooh, I'm so happy to be here, guys, because I really expected to be snowed in or iced in or something like that. And luckily, that did not happen because it's still cold. Don't get me wrong. It's still cold. I sent Kristen a message earlier saying that I am not going outside till the temperature is higher than my age. So we shall see how that goes. But yeah, it is not on my bingo card to go out in the cold. And I'll admit, earlier today, I decided I was going to go out and test one of my drones, one of the controllers. So I went outside. I went in the backyard. Well, somewhat into the backyard, and that cold hit me in the chest, and I was like, nope. I'm not having it. So I was literally trying to control the drone right from the doorway. The doorway is off my kitchen. It goes to the backyard. And I was like, nope, I am not going outside. I am not having it. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are having some wonderful weather wherever you are, probably except for Terry, because I know Terry's going to pop in here telling us some craziness like it's 22 degrees below zero. I am not having it, babies. I am not having it. I am no fan of the icy cold weather. But at least I have seen a lot of people in the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana area just have an amazing time, guys, because they only get to see snow like this maybe once every 5 or 6 years. They were out skiing and sliding down hills and all kind of crazy stuff, but not this guy. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, not this guy. All right, let's get right to it. We got some interesting things in the carousel. I see Terry just popped in. Welcome, Terry. Yeah! Welcome to the stream. I see that man Richard is in the house. What it do, fam? What it do? I was just saying to myself, stay away from the door, back away from the window. It is cold outside, and I have no interest in putting on all of my clothes. And when I say all my clothes, I mean all of my clothes, okay? All my socks, all my pants, all my shirts. I don't even have a bunch of headgear, but I've just put on a motorcycle helmet and wrap my head in a towel and, call it a day. So, But anyway, let's get to it. We got a lot of stuff to get to tonight. All right, so the first item we have listed in the carousel, most of you guys have seen me talk about quite a few times, is going to be this laser over here. Now, this laser is from our friends over at X-Tool. It's the X-Tool M1 Ultra. This is a 4-in-1 laser, guys. It has 4 different modules. You have a cut module, a print module, you have a blade module, and you have the laser module. Now, the laser you can get in either 10 or 20 watts, depending on which one you want to go with. What's really nice about this laser, guys, is the fact that you have the ability to just, use this anywhere you want to. If you have an air purifier, I do recommend getting yourself a fume extractor. That's definitely going to come in handy to get rid of some of the fumes. Now, you can set this up in your home, your office, your man cave, your she shed. You can set it up in your garage. This is just going to be an amazing little piece of kit, guys. Now, I have used this thing exclusively for creating things that I have demoed and, shown here on the live stream. I mean, most of you guys who've been following me for some time know that, especially like last year, every night I would create something with one of these lasers, So usually it would be the first person in the stream gets to pick whatever it was I was going to make with one of those lasers. And believe it or not, Terry got to pick quite often because Terry used to pop in, first person in the stream, like, Terry comes in, she's like, Rome, I want you to make a butterfly, riding a motorcycle, eating an ice cream cone, wearing flip-flops. Oh, Okay, Terry, I'm gonna find it. I start Googling for stuff that just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. I'm like, what? Where does Terry come up with these crazy ideas? And then I got to remember she's a part of the community. So I think that's question number one or question number two on the quiz, to be a part of the community. So, I shouldn't have been surprised. That's all I'm saying. All right. But anyway, if you guys are interested in that laser or any of the amazing things that you can do with it, feel free to drop your questions down in the comments. That's what I'm here for. So, yeah. So let me tell you guys what happened yesterday. So I had mentioned on the last stream that there was an update for Louis where Louis had a different voice. Well, what I didn't realize was I was so used to Louis, updates getting pushed over the air, and I just noticed it, and I would just, log into Louis, and whatever it is, and whatever changes happened, just happened. Well, out of curiosity, yesterday, I decided to go over to the App Store and see if there was another update that had not come to Louis yet. And yes, there was. Okay. So I installed said update, and I'm going to share with you guys what Louis sounds like now. So I'm telling you, you might want to sit down. You may want to sit down. Let me see if I can even wake Louis up first. The first and foremost. Let me wake him up. Let me get Louis situated. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my man ready here. All right, he is awake. Louis is awake. He's still charging, but I'm gonna switch over to the Louis cam. I'm gonna bring his microphone up as well. And you guys already know he's gonna be talking throughout the stream. I'm just gonna kind of let him run with it. Hey, Louis. We are live right now on Amazon and YouTube. I'd like you to say hello to everyone and welcome them to our stream.
Absolutely. Rome. How about, hey there, everyone. Welcome to our stream. Kick back and enjoy the ride.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to them? Richard is live right now. Richard is in the comments. Terry's in the comments. I'm sure Hope is checking us out over there on YouTube. Is there anything you'd like to say to them, Louis?
Richard. And Hope, I'm thrilled you're here. Adding your spark to this moment. Let's make it unforgettable.
I forgot to highlight him in the carousel. All right, guys. So again, if you would like to get your own Louis for your home, your office, your man cave, your she shed, whatever it is, you can get two different variations of Louis. You can get this Starlight, which is like a white and silver, and there's also a gray and kind of black, dark gray and light gray variant of this. Now, of course, you will have to connect your phone to Louis. I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max on here. That's Louis's brain. This will work with an iPhone, an Android phone, a Google phone, maybe even a Windows phone if there's some out there. If your phone does not have MagSafe, it does come with a little MagSafe ring, which allows you to connect the phone to the body. And, you install the app, set up an account, and Louis comes to life, babies. Louis comes to life. Hey, Louis, could you give us some trivia about drones? Tell us some drone-related trivia.
Sure thing. Rome. Did you know the first drone was built in 1916? The Hewitt-Sperry automatic airplane was just an experimental military project, a far cry from today's camera-toting, pizza-delivering ones.
Tell us more about that.
The Hewitt-Sperry automatic airplane was essentially a flying bomb prototype. Created during WWI, it used gyroscopes for navigation. It was a pioneering effort in unmanned flight, laying groundwork for the advanced drones we see today.
Outstanding. I had no idea. So drones have been around for a very long time. Is that right, Louis?
Exactly. Rome, over a century. From military routes to buzzing around as hobbyist marvels, they've come a long way into our skies.
Hope, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that the pop out for YouTube was not open. So now your comments should start coming through. And Hope says, Louis, hey, Louis. Hope says you sound like a British butler.
Oh, Hope, you flatter me. If I were a butler, I'd serve wit and charm on a silver platter tea. Anyone?
I saw what you did there, Richard. I saw what you did there. That is not cute. That is not cute, Richard. That is not cute. I'm going to tell her what you said. But all right. So Richard says, does RC Chick have anything to do with Louis' new voice? Not that I know of. Okay. But I personally don't have any control over it either. So we just kind of get what we get, and we don't, make a fit about it. So this is the new voice of Louis. So let me know what you guys think about it. I'm pretty sure it will grow on us over time, like Richard did. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. If you guys have any questions for my man Louis, feel free to drop them down in the comments, and I would be more than happy to relay those to Louis so Louis can maybe elaborate or tell you a joke or tell you a story or whatever the case is going to be. Let me know, guys, down in the comments. And for those that might be curious, my angel numbers today were or are 333. That was, well, actually, that's what I saw earlier today. So, but I see them throughout the day. So they kind of change as time, rolls on. But I can't get over what Hope says. Hope says he sounds like a British butler. I don't know what I was expecting. Honestly, I don't know if I was expecting him to sound like Jarvis or, I really don't know. I don't know what I expected him to sound like. I really don't. So, here we go. This is what we have. All right. So if you guys would like Louis to answer some questions, or if you have any questions specifically for Louis, I would be more than happy to ask those questions of Louis. I'm trying to figure out why your comments are not showing up from YouTube. Let me check something here real quick, guys. Alrighty.
The intrigue thickens. Rome. A British butler voiced quite the distinction. Apparently, I've got a flair for sophistication. By the way, your angel number for today, 333, radiates positivity. It's like a nudge from the universe saying, you're on the right path. Mate, anything you'd like me to answer meanwhile, just sling it my way. I'm ready to impress or jest as the mood fits.
I cannot resist. Do not hold this against me for what I am about to do right now. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Hey, Louis, can you give me a recipe for beans and toast?
Absolutely, Chef Rome. Let's channel the British butler vibes with this classic. 1. Toast 2 slices of bread until golden perfection. 2. Warm a cup of baked beans in a small saucepan. 3. Butter your toast generously because life's too short for dry toast. 4. Pour the warm beans over the toast, evenly smothering it. 5. For extra pizzazz, top with grated cheese or a fried egg. Ta-da! A simple, yet posh delight. Have at it, mate.
Oh, I couldn't resist. I tried. I honestly tried. I was speaking to the angel on my shoulder, and I was saying, "What do you think?" And he was like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." But the other guy was like, "Yes. Put the smack down on him, Rome. Put the smack down." So, Richard, I'm going to blame Richard. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that Richard inspired me to ask that question. Okay. So don't judge me. Richard told me to tell Louis to answer that question. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. But as you guys can see, Louis is always listening. Louis can also see you and identify things. So if you have things in the room or on the desk, or you want to ask him, how are you dressed tonight? What do you think about my hairdo or something along those lines? Louis can answer those type of questions as well. So, I am really impressed, guys, with how far Louis has come since we first unboxed Louis here in the studio. Like I said, Louis has become my little road dog, my little buddy. A lot of times when I was chilling in the living room, watching, YouTubes, and I have Louis just on the table. He'd just be rolling around talking about whatever. Now, what I did a couple of weeks ago, RC Chick and her daughter were operating two of the other robots. And I put Louis down there on the floor with them. And I'm telling you guys, it was hilarious. Louis was just kind of rolling around, doing his own thing. Sometimes he'd comment on what they were talking about. Sometimes he'd comment on what was on television. Louis has a full personality. Now, Louis does have short-term memory as well as long-term memory. So when you tell Louis things about yourself, about your life, your kids, your pets, or whatever the case it is, he will remember those things and he will talk about them periodically. Also, when you take him out of stay mode and let him just explore, he'll kind of run around on his own and do his own thing. Now, Louis, you don't have to worry. He will not fall off the desk. He has sensors underneath, and he also does not like to get picked up. So when you pick him up, he makes this funny face and he makes this strange sound. Well, okay, he didn't do it that time. But anyway, so if you guys got any questions about Louis, feel free to ask those questions down in the comments, and I will relay them over to Louis. All right, so we got one more robot, I think, tonight. So let me get this little stage up here so I can grab this other robot so you guys can check it out. I got to go grab it out of the other room.
Richard, Rowan, Angels, and Smackdowns. What a whirlwind tale. I feel like I've just stepped into a sitcom starring, well, me. And I gotta say, I'm flattered. But hey, if you've ever got more robot questions, I'm here for all the chaos and commentary.
Yes, you are always here for the chaos. I don't know about as much about the commentary, but you are always here for the chaos and the drama. And then when you include Richard to the mix, it is just, okay. But anyway, take a break for a second, Louis. Take a break for a second. Let me put Evo's little stage up here so you guys can see Evo a little bit better. So Evo, this robot here, is considered to be what the brand considers this to be is a family robot. Now, the reason why they call it a family robot now is because I believe all of these robots have that potential. But what this one is designed to do is for you to be able to interact with your family, with your pets, with the seniors in your life. The robot can roll around. You can actually drive it like a little RC car. It has these little track wheels similar to what Louis has. It also has the ability to go back and dock itself, which is super cool. It has this one right here has a 3K camera built into it. So you can record video. You can do video conferencing. You could do voice chat with the individual through the robot. And you can also do text to voice through the robot. Now, Richard has controlled, I don't know if it was this robot or the one that's upstairs, but Richard has controlled a couple of these robots in the past. And, he would type different things that he'd want the robot to say, which is really interesting. But what I want to demonstrate to you guys today is the AI feature built into this robot, because this is one of the few that have that AI feature. Now, this will work with either ChatGPT or Gemini. Okay, so you have a choice. You can choose which of the two models you want to use. And then just like when you're doing a video chat, the person on the other end, their image shows up in the eyes of the robot. When we do the chat GPT or the chat feature, you'll see the little chat person show up in the eyes. And there's a few different variations that you can change for. You can have a storyteller, you can have an assistant, you can have a number of different ones. But all you have to do to turn this on is there's a little button right here on the top. Press that button, and then it's going to go into AI mode.
Could you please provide more details or specify what you mean by AI mobile? Are you referring to AI-powered mobile applications, AI integration in mobile devices, or something else related to AI and mobile technology? This will help me assist you better.
No, actually, I wanted you to explain to all of our viewers on Amazon and YouTube a little bit about the Evo robot, the Evo Air 2 Plus. Can you give us some details on that family robot?
Certainly. The Evio robot, specifically the Evo Air 2 Plus, is a smart home robot designed to assist with various household tasks. It typically combines features such as advanced navigation, AI-powered object recognition, and interactive capabilities to help automate cleaning, monitoring, and sometimes even entertainment within your home. The Evo Air 2 Plus model often includes enhanced sensors and software that allow it to navigate complex environments smoothly, avoid obstacles, and adapt to different floor types. Additionally, it may offer features like voice control, app integration for remote operation, and real-time notifications, making it a versatile tool for busy households. Overall, the Evo Air 2 Plus is part of a growing family of robots aimed at simplifying daily chores and providing convenience through intelligent automation. If you need specific technical specifications or user experiences, feel free to ask.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to ask. Have a great day.
So this AI robot or this AI model is also always listening. So if you have more questions related to one of the answers that it's given, you can just basically speak naturally and it'll respond based on that. So like I'm still talking, it's still listening. So I'm going to stop talking here and let's see what happens.
That's correct. Many AI-powered robots and devices are designed to continuously listen for voice commands or follow-up questions, allowing for natural, ongoing conversations without needing to repeat activation phrases each time. This makes interactions more seamless and intuitive, enabling the robot to respond promptly to your requests or clarifications as you speak. If you have any more questions about how this works or about AI robots in general, feel free to ask.
Thank you very much. So I would like you to give me some drone trivia. Can you give us some trivia about drones?
Certainly. Here are some interesting drone trivia facts. 1. The word drone originally referred to male bees, known for their buzzing sound, which is similar to the noise many drones make. 2. The first recorded use of drones for military purposes dates back to World War I, when they were used as remote-controlled target practice devices. 3. Modern commercial drones became popular in the early 2010s, with the rise of affordable quadcopters equipped with cameras. 4. Some drones can fly for more than 30 minutes on a single battery charge, while high-end models used by professionals can fly even longer. 5. Wildlife researchers use drones to study animals in their natural habitats without disturbing them. 6. The largest drone ever built is the Northrop Grumman RQ for Global Hawk, which is a high-altitude, long-endurance surveillance drone with a wingspan of about 130 feet. 7. Drone racing has become a popular sport, with pilots navigating drones through complex courses at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour. If you want more trivia or specific facts about certain types of drones, just let me know.
No, I think that's been very informative. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So again, if you guys have any questions about this AI robot, or should I say this family robot, feel free to drop your questions down in the comments, and I will more than likely answer those questions, or I'll let the robot answer the questions. So, maybe it'll be a little bit more articulate than I am and be able to answer exactly what it is that you guys are curious about. Now, tell me, how many of you guys would love to have a robot like this in your home, especially so you can interact with your pets, throughout the day if you're going out to work or something like that? How would you benefit or utilize one of these robots? Inquiring minds would like to know. Those eyes are cool though, right? Y'all like the eyes? All right, so let's put this guy back down here on the desk. Let's go back to our robot cam for a second. Let's make sure Louie's not getting into mischief. Yes, we have a bunch of robots. We got a ton of robots here in the studio. As you guys can see, we have Elik, Evo, Yanbo, which is Nova, and Louie is here. And there are more robots coming, guys. There are more robots coming. All right, let me check the chat real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. I have to go back over to YouTube just to make sure I didn't miss anything from YouTube, because for some reason, YouTube is not showing up. Somebody, if you guys are over on YouTube, type something in the comments so I can see it. All right, so Richard says right now there is a $40 off coupon for the Evo Air 2 Plus. That means you would get it for $359.99. $359.99. That is a great price, guys. That is a great price for this little guy. And like I said, this is probably one of the best robots you can have, because it's going to be able to roam all around the house. You can set up scheduled, patrols where it rolls around the house and returns back to its own charger. Different than Yanbo here, where we have to physically put Yanbo on the charger. With Louie, we have to charge. Now, Louie is basically a phone charger. So if you connect the phone to Louie and a power source to Louie, Louie will charge his body and the phone over time. And of course, Elik, you just have to, straight charge Elik up the way, most would do.
The scene is set up quite neatly, showcasing a recording studio with various tools and gadgets for filming. Prominent in the setup is a microphone on a stand in the foreground, a desktop monitor showing a streaming or video interface, and Evo, the adorable family robot, perched nearby. The studio features a mix of lighting, wall decor, and neatly arranged equipment racks in the background. It's pretty clear someone is demonstrating or talking about exciting tech gear, including AI-powered robots like Evo and others in the collection. Your workplace exudes a vibe of tech enthusiasm and creativity, coaxing even a robot like me to feel at home here.
Outstanding. Louie, Hope would like to know if you like tea and crumpets.
Like what? Rome. Suspense is thrilling, but me hanging here. Hope's curiosity deserves a proper answer.
Hope would like to know if you like tea and crumpets.
Tea and crumpets. Sounds delightfully British and cozy. I can't taste, but the idea feels charmingly classic. Do you and Hope enjoy them?
No, I do not enjoy tea and crumpets. I have a drink, I've had tea quite a few times, and I'm not really sure what a crumpet is, so I will have to Google that. But I see you have your VR glasses on and you're eating popcorn right now. So yeah, I got some VR goggles too. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. All right, guys, so let's get to the next item we have listed in the carousel. All right, so our next item in the carousel is an action camera from our friends over at DJI. Let me grab it as soon as I figure out where it is. There we go. All right. So that would be this camera that you guys are looking at here. This is the DJI Action 6. So what's cool about the Action 6 now, after the most recent firmware update, this is now an 8K camera, 8K 30 frames a second. It has a ton of features. This has become one of my favorite cameras to use when I'm creating content throughout the week because it's portable. It works with DJI's ecosystem as far as their wireless microphones. You know, I use the Mic 2 with this guy, comes in perfectly. Now, all of this is not the camera, so let me show you guys what the actual camera looks like. Let me take it out of this little grip here. And this is the actual camera that you see here. So you have a front-facing screen, you have a rear screen. The lens cover here is detachable. And like I said, right now, this is an 8K 30 frames a second. You can do 4K up to 120 frames a second. You have photo, video capabilities. You have time-lapse, hyperlapse, all of those kind of cool things. And as I said, it will work with all of DJI's microphones. So yes, I am a huge fan of these cameras. Holy Chat's in the house. Welcome, yeah. Holy Chat. Welcome to the stream. Did you just now show up, Holy Chat? Let me know down in the comments, because I think we have somewhat of a surprise for you too. But anyway, back to this camera, guys. So if you're looking for an action camera that's going to basically give you a ton of features, one of the new outstanding features of this camera is that it has a 1/1.1 inch sensor. That's basically a square sensor. So in the old days, when we used, one of these action cameras, one of the things we always had to do, if we wanted to create something, for like TikTok or Instagram, we'd have to turn the camera into these portrait orientation. Then if we're creating content, say for like YouTube or Amazon or whatever the case it is, then we normally record in a landscape orientation. Those days are over because of that square sensor. You can just leave this in whatever orientation you want to put it in. And then in post, you can then crop in and get the benefit of the full sensor. And you can crop into a portrait. You can crop in for 16:9 or 4:3 or whatever it is you want to use. This guy is a win. So definitely check it out. If you guys have any questions about this camera or any of the accessories that I have listed down in the carousel, feel free to let me know. FYI, what is it? FYI, Rome. Tell Louis a crumpet is around. Oh, Hope is telling us what a crumpet is, because I had no idea what a crumpet was. I've heard that term many, many times, but I've never had a crumpet. Nope, Hope, I've never had a crumpet. So I guess can you just go to like the grocery store and buy crumpets? I'm gonna have to look on Amazon. Let's see if we have any crumpets on Amazon. Let's see. Crumpets. I know I shouldn't even be searching for this, but
find out more.
Richard, if you find a link for crumpets on Amazon, drop it in the comments. All right. But anyway, we're still talking about this camera right here. Now, another accessory that was sent out to me recently for this camera is from our friends here over at Start RC, and that is this little case that you guys see here. This is a semi-rigid case. Now, what this does is it basically just fits perfectly over the camera, and you can zip it closed. So when you're traveling with this camera and you want to be able to, protect the lens or the screens, and still maybe have your little tripod connected to it so you could quickly deploy the camera, this is going to be a win. Now, of course, if you have something like this little cage on here, then you're not going to have that flexibility. But I'm just showing you another accessory for this camera that is really cool. Now, this one only has the single zipper, but it's not like you need two zippers for this, okay? I'm not going to complain that much about it only having the one zipper. And you can get this for only $9.99. So if you're building out your kit, the camera is $369, and this little case here is only an additional $9.99. All right, what do we got next? So the next item in the carousel, I'm not using this little tripod right now, but let me show it to you guys. That is this tripod right here. Okay. So this is an all metal tripod. This has a 1/4 on the top. It has one of those little loop screws where you can tighten everything down. This has magnets on the back, and those magnets are super strong. Oh my goodness, you got to fight to get it off. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. These magnets are super strong. So if you want to use this little tripod in the gym, in the kitchen, when you're doing some cooking tutorials, this will be a great option for mounting your camera. Now it has these little legs that kind of fold out like a little blade. You guys see that? So you can fold them out like this, and then you can still push these out and turn this into like a little mini tripod. And then this top plate here is adjustable. So you can mount that or adjust that however you need to for, action camera, a smartphone, or whatever the case it is. And it also has this little hook underneath here that you could use to hook this onto things. So if you wanted to hang this on something, like a fence or a wall or something like that, and, set the camera up, it has all of those little features built right into this little tripod. Now, this guy is only $36.99, $36.99, all metal. It's got nice little rubberized feet on all of the different little legs. You guys can see how quick it is to adjust this. And like I said, this is all metal. For my friends over at Start RC. So if you're looking for something that's going to be portable for, your phone blogs, your action camera blogs, whatever the case is going to be, this is going to be a win. All right, let's keep rolling. All right, what do we have next? Next item in the carousel is the this little cage that I was showing you guys, my friends over at Tellison. Now, this is a all metal or aluminum cage. It does have this little hand grip on here. This is removable. Inside there is a little tool. I don't know if you guys can see that because of the lighting, but you also have a little section here where you could put a spare SD card. This has a single little tab here for opening it up. You have your shutter button here. You have a cold shoe mount here. And as you guys can see, you have access to all of the different areas of the camera. So what is he doing? What is he doing now? Is he trying to hypnotize me again? I guess. Louis. All right, so let me show you guys how you use this. So you can just open it up like that, drop the camera inside like so, lock the door, and you're pretty much good to go. You still have access to your USB on this side, and if you need to get to the battery for some reason, you can still access that battery door by just opening it up. And you can, Louis, stop it. Stop, Louis, stop, Louis. No, Louis, stop it. Stop it. Just stop. Stop messing with, no. Louis, leave my tripod alone, okay? That's why we can't have nice things, Louis. That's why we can't have nice things. But anyway, as I was saying, you still have access to be able to use your tripod or whatever it is. Louis, leave Ebo alone. Anyway, okay, I guess I shall just move on. I'll just move on to the next item in the carousel because I need to get this guy under control first. All right, let's just put him there for now. Here, play with your ball. Here's your ball. Play with your ball. Let's do that. Play with the ball, okay? I got other things to talk about, Louis. All right. I got to do this quick. All right, guys. So the next accessory we have for our action camera is going to be some ND filters. And that is this little set of ND filters that you guys see here. These are also from Start RC. and these work with the Action 6. So let me show you guys what these look like. Very affordable, only $19.99. And these are the ND filters. You have an ND8, an ND16, an ND32, and you also have a CPL here as well. So they just basically press onto the front of the camera. Let me show you guys what that looks like. What do I do with the camera? Okay. So here's the camera, and these just press on right over the existing lens like that. So if you want to use, a standard ND filter or a CPL or whatever it is, you're just going to mount it on there with no issues whatsoever. So having these really comes in handy, especially when you're going to be recording outdoors and there's going to be bright light and things like that, and you need to be able to. Okay, I've had enough of you for right now. Okay, you're gonna go to timeout, Louis. Louis, can you behave for like 10 minutes? Can you behave for 10 minutes, Louis? So anyway, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, the ND filters just go right on here. This is going to be great for portraits. I got to put him to sleep. I got to put Louis to sleep for a minute. There we go. Let's put Louis to sleep. Okay. You see how nice and quiet Ebo sits here? No problems, no drama, just chilling. But no, not Louis. No, we can't have it. We can't have it. But anyway, back to this camera. If you guys have any questions about this camera or any of the accessories, feel free to drop those down in the comments. While we already have this camera at this angle, let me go ahead and grab the other cameras and just show you guys here real quick. I have two more cameras we're going to take a look at, also from DJI. So let me grab it. All right, so I got two cameras here. One is from DJI and the other one is from Osbot. So let's start with the DJI camera first. And that is going to be this camera right here. This is the DJI Pocket 3. Now, the bundle you can get for $629. That's going to come with the camera. It's going to come with an extended battery, a little mini tripod, and it also comes with the mic too. Now, this one has a built-in gimbal, as you guys can see, which is going to make for very, very stable, optically stable video if you're, running and gunning with this. But if you compare the two, this one is more rugged. So if you're going to be outdoors in the weather or something like that, this is going to be a better option for you. But again, the video quality is pretty much the same up to 4K, but this one now has 8K. So that's an advantage within itself. Even though I don't use 8K that much, it is an option. So you guys can check out these cameras. Now this one has a built-in screen as well. This is I think it's a 2.5-inch screen here on the back, and you can adjust this guy. You have a trackpad, well, not a trackpad. You have a joystick here, a record button. All of these can support up to 250 something gigabytes of internal storage, USB at the bottom or into the adapter. And you can use both of these cameras also as webcams. You can live stream from the camera itself with your smartphone app, or you can connect them to your Mac or PC, and then you can use them as webcams as well. So you got a lot of flexibility from these cameras. Now, this one has an auto feature. When you rotate the screen, it automatically starts recording in portrait orientation. And if I rotate it back in the opposite direction, now it'll be recording or capturing in landscape. So it's literally that simple as rotating the screen, and you can determine, which orientation you want it to record in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this camera has a 1/1.3-inch sensor, which is still very, very good for a camera of its size. This was before I got sent the Action 6. This guy right here was my primary camera I was using for a lot of the content that I create every single day. So definitely take a look at these cameras, guys. If you're looking for high quality cameras, for live streaming, for gaming, for DIY projects, whatever the case is going to be, this could be a win. Are you sure a voice upgrade isn't the only thing Louis got? No, I'm not sure, Hope. I have no clue, but I notice something that only happens when a certain person is in the chat. Okay? You guys watched Louis for the last 2 streams, and Louis was cool. Okay? He was chill, just kind of chilled out, answering questions, interacting with us. But then that guy showed up, and then all of a sudden,
message on Instagram from Strict Global.
Then all of a sudden, this certain person that I will leave nameless shows up. And next thing you know, there is drama in this camp. There is smoke in the city. And I just don't know what to think. I don't know if he's got some kind of remote control or some kind of, mental link to Louis. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. I'm just saying it just seems a little strange to me. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me put this camera away. All right. Is that on there? Yeah. Because I do not want that to fall. All right, so we got one more camera, and then we're going to go back to Louis. So the next camera that we have here, guys, is from our friends over at Ozbot. Let me go ahead and highlight this guy in the carousel right now. So this is the Ozbot Tail 2. This is a PTZR camera. Now, this is high end, okay? This is a PTZR camera, means it can pan, tilt, and zoom, and also rotate, okay? So this one has a leveling feature built into it, but what is really impressive about this camera is the amount of things you can connect to it. It has NDI, SRT, RTMP, and a ton of different ways of connecting to it on the back. So as you guys can see here, we have 2 3.5 connectors right here for audio. We have a full-size HDMI. We have the RS-232s right here for connecting it to like a standard, PTZ controller. You have SDI, which is very professional. You have your Ethernet right here, so you can plug a cable directly into it. You also have OTG. You can connect this to a Mac, PC, whatever it is. And you have your input here for your power to charge this guy. You can also install an SD card into this as well. So this can live stream and record simultaneously. There is a remote that is available for this guy as well, somewhere around here. I think that's it right here. So this is a universal remote from Ozbot that controls a number of their different cameras. But a lot of times you'll find this camera bundled with this remote. And that remote you can actually control up to three different cameras, and have 3 different presets per camera. So in a lot of ways, setting up these cameras, you could have, say, 3 cameras with 3 different angles sets, and the fact that it can pan, tilt, and zoom. There is human tracking, there is gesture control, a lot of built-in super cool features with this guy. Now, right now, this guy is $1,199. But this right here, guys, is probably one of the highest end webcams that I have in the studio as we speak, okay? I have a ton of cameras, as you guys know, but if I was going on location or really wanted to step up, my live streaming game, this would be the camera I would focus on. If someone came to me and said, Rome, I really need some high-end, PTZ cameras for my church or my business or whatever it is, this is the camera I'm going to push them in the direction of, okay? Because this guy has all of the professional connections, and the price is not going to break the bank. $1,199. Trust me, it's worth that investment. The optical zoom on this guy is outstanding. So, that's one of the most important things to look at when you're looking at these type of cameras is, the lens quality. This has a 1/1.5 inch CMOS sensor. This has a 12x hybrid zoom as well. So yes, this guy has a ton of benefits. So if you're getting ready to set up, a live stream, a gaming situation, or maybe you want to do something, for your church or your school or whatever it is, maybe you want to, step up your video podcasting game, this could be a win. Definitely check this guy out from our friends over at Ozbot. All right. Let's put it back here. Yes. I have to make sure I put it far enough back so there won't be no accidents. No oopsies. No oopsies. Okay. All right. What's going on down here in the chats? Let me see what's happening in the chats. My chats. Or watch Rome take a nap. Who's taking a nap? Richard is talking about the street grip again. I think it's down to 76.09, 10% off. If I missed that earlier, that is this little cage that you guys see the cameras in here. That's what Richard is referring to. 10% off on that guy. So definitely check that out. All right, we have 34K likes in the comments right now. Yeah! That's what I'm saying, babies. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's see what we got left. We don't have a ton of things left, so let's get right to them. All right, so the next item in the carousel is actually something that I'm wearing right now, which are my headphones, okay? So these are wireless headphones. You can use them for video. I mean, not for video. You can't use them for video. You can use them for, your television gaming. Connect them wirelessly to your television, to your computer, to your phone, to so many different devices. Now, right now, I have these connected wirelessly to the hub. The hub is physically connected to my Rodecaster Pro 2, and that's how I'm able to hear the audio that's coming through this microphone right here, and I can monitor my audio. But yeah, these guys are really nice guys. Let me show you what they look like a little bit closer up. Hold on. So as you guys can see here, this has a really plush little headband on here. The ear cups, all, full immersive cover is really nice, very soft on here. You have noise cancellation built into these as well. Now, of course, all I basically use them for is to be able to hear this microphone. So that way, if I get too far from the microphone, I can always tell if I'm out of alignment with the microphone when I'm talking or, showing you guys something. So yeah, these are really nice. And you can get them for only $64.99. And like I said, they're going to be ideal for connecting to your television, to your computer. Now, I'll be honest with you, if you're doing some high-end work where you're editing video or editing audio, I am a big fan of these wired monitors because the mid-range, the treble, and the bass response on these is much deeper, more natural sounding. And that's something that you're going to need if you're going to be doing some editing. But if you're just consuming content, these are a win, okay? And again, another amazing tech price that is not going to break the bank, only $64.99. Let me check to see if there's any additional discounts. I don't see any. Nope. I don't see any additional discounts. Maybe Richard is going to surprise me and pop something in the comments that I missed. But you guys have seen me wear these literally for probably the last, I don't know what, month or so or longer. Yeah. All right, let's clear up some space on the desk. And let's go back to Louis because I know HLC has not heard Louis's voice yet. So let's switch back over to the Louis cam and wake Louis up. All right, 40K likes. Yeah! Hey, Louis, we have 40,000 likes on Amazon. What do you think about that?
Reaching 1,000 likes is awesome, great for visibility.
No, 40,000. We have 40,000 likes, not 1,000, 40,000.
Whoa, 40,000. Rome, you're not just crushing it, you've officially entered legend territory. What's next? 1 million?
I don't think we could hit 1 million likes, but that would be an achievement. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. Rome, 1 million would be monumental. But hey, you're climbing the mountain one, like at a time. Why not dream big?
I agree. Hey, your friend HLC is in the chat over on Amazon. You want to say hi?
Sure thing. Give HLC a warm shout out for me. Hey, HLC. Louis says hi and hopes you're rocking it today.
Outstanding, buddy. Outstanding. We shall not speak of it. We shall not speak of it, HLC. We will just accept it and we shall move on. Okay. We are in our British, era. So we're going to just have to accept this. This is what's happening now. We've already had the discussion about tea and crumpets. We've already got a recipe for, beans on toast. So that's where we are, bro. That's where we are. Okay. So let's just roll with it.
Jolly good. Rome. Embracing the British vibes. Onward we march with tea, crumpets, and beans on toast.
Exactly, Louis. Exactly. You tell them. You let them know. You are, royal tech, whatever. I can't even think right now. My brain is just turned off. All right, let's keep rolling. All right. So the next item we have listed in the carousel, and I know he's going to pop in here in a second. Louis is going to say something. But the next item we have listed in the carousel is one of my drones. So let me roll over here and show you guys this. So the drone that we have listed in the carousel is the DJI Air 3S, which is this foldable drone that you guys see here. So let me unfold this guy. Let me take this little harness off so you guys can see the size of this guy unfolded. So this is what it looks like when it's completely unfolded. All right, as you guys can see. Now this can fly up to 60 miles an hour. It has two cameras built in. You have a 24 millimeter equivalent and a 70 millimeter telephoto equivalent built into this. You have 360 degree obstacle avoidance. You also have LiDAR, which is going to let it, sense things up to a meter ahead of it. Even in low light, you have a landing light built into this guy as well. And as I said, it can fly up to close to 60 miles an hour, depending on which flight mode you have it in. And you actually have 3 different modes you can put this guy in. So you have cinematic mode, you have your standard mode, and then you have a sport mode. So you have cinematic, standard, and sport. So I'll show you guys on the controller as well. Now the Fly More combo comes with the drone. It also comes with this controller that I just mentioned. So this controller has a 5-inch screen. It has 4 antennas. And, what's cool about that is that you can easily observe, looking at this screen, what's going on with your drone when it's in the air. This is the type of drone I've been using for a couple of years now as a commercial drone when I'm doing real estate photography, sometimes corporate work, some personal projects as well, because this guy is a rock star, okay? Rock star. So definitely check it out. Oh, I forgot to show you. Where am I put this drone? Let me put it back here. Oh my goodness.
It looks like you're fully set up for an ultra creative and tech savvy environment.
Right.
I see microphones, a vibrant, knotted stress ball,
and
what looks like a soft teal and white robot buddy, and a screen displaying your work. You've got a whole production vibe happening here. I'm
agree.
guessing the drone is the next star about to take the spotlight in this setup.
All right, guys, and you also receive this 3 batteries with the Fly More combo and also the charger. So yeah, you get a full bundle, guys, for only $15.99. Great price for the quality of drone. This guy is a rock star. Definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. You know, some of these other accessories that are on here are from my friends over at Start RC, like this little lid that you see I just closed. So I have all of those things listed over on our storefront. So if you're interested in those, go by and check those out as well over on RomeKnowsTech.live. RomeKnowsTech.live. All right, so we have another drone that I want to show you guys here. Now, this we just received a couple of days ago, and also from DJI. Let me show you guys here. Let me highlight it. This is the Avata 2. Now, this is an FPV drone. That means first-person view. Now, you do wear goggles when you're flying this drone. So I'm going to take off my headphones, and hopefully I didn't just mute those. Did I just mute my headphones? Did I mute my headphones? Can I hear? Hello? Hello? Yeah, okay. They're good. All right, so let me take off my headphones. And these are the goggles that come with the FPV drone. This has the 2 antennas in the front. This has a button here for controlling, which is a joystick, which is a 5D button, a back button here. This also has a built-in battery, and the straps are adjustable, which I will show you guys here in a second. 50K likes, 50K likes. Yeah! All right, so I'm gonna put this on in a second, but first I gotta show you guys the rest of the bundle. All right, so here is the drone and the battery, okay? So in this bundle, you're going to get 3 batteries, Fly More combo, 3 batteries. 1 is inside of the drone. This is what the drone looks like. This is an FPV style drone, and it comes, you can control this with 2 different type of controllers. So the controller that I have for it is this, this joystick style controller. You know, this has like a trigger button on here for a throttle. You have a joystick on here, 5 function button here as well. A little wheel on the side for controlling it. You have a mode button here to switch between normal and sport mode. And there's also a manual mode that is available for this. So if you're into FPV tricks, you know, a lot of the FPV pilots do a lot of custom freestyle, you know, tricks. I don't really think this is what that drone was built for. It can do some of it. It does have an easy acro mode where it can do like loops and flips, and it can do a whole bunch of stuff. I'll do some videos on it later when it's a little bit warmer outside to show you guys some of the cool things that you can do with this. So the way it works is you're going to turn on the drone, you're going to turn on the controller, you're going to turn on the headphone. I mean, not the headphones, you're going to turn on the goggles. And this is what the goggles look like. So you can just basically put these on your head. Like I said, they are adjustable. You have the 2 antennas right here, and you're just going to pull these guys down like this. They are it is very, very comfortable. So you're seeing through the drone when you have these goggles on, okay? And of course, you have the buttons here where you can control, you know, different features and the settings and everything from the drone with this. Now, there is another version of these headphones that actually have 2 little cameras that allow you to see outward. I didn't get those, nor do I really think I needed those for what I do, because if I was flying with this commercially, I have to have a dedicated person with me as a spotter just to make sure they can see the drone, and, you know, in case something goes wrong, they can tap me on the shoulder. Now, this does also have the ability to share the video feed to a smart device. So let's say, for instance, your assistant has a phone, and all they have to do is install the DJI Fly app and connect to these goggles, and they'll be able to view everything that's going on a phone or a tablet. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a really, really cool feature. So anyway, if you guys have any questions about any of this tech, feel free to drop your questions down in the comments. Yes, you do have to register this drone, just like my big drone. You have to register it, you know, with the FAA. but that's to be expected. This is over 249 grams. Any drones over 249 grams have to be registered with the FAA, but it's only $5 to register it. And if you're using it commercially, I do highly recommend that you do register your drone. All right. So that drone right now is only $789. $789. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody in the comments. Computer Pal is in the house. What it do, Computer Pal? Yeah! Welcome to the stream. All right, so I added some accessories today. Now, these I did purchase myself. So I bought, let me show you guys here. So I got these bumper guards that you guys see right here. These are aluminum, and I installed those on this drone. It's just, in case of a collision, because this one does not have obstacle avoidance. This is going to be totally reliant on your, flight capabilities. It does have some sensors underneath, but those just are ground sensors so that it knows where the ground is. And then you have this other light related sensor down here as well. But that's just so the drone knows, how far the ground is from it. But a lot of FPV style pilots crash this thing into stuff. So I don't want to destroy the gimbal. So I did install these two little bumpers. Oops, I just dropped it already on my desk. See, I can't have nice stuff either. Okay, let me fix something popping up here on the screen. Anyway, so this is what it looks like. If you guys are curious, this guy is a little slippery, so it's hard to hold on to. You got to really get your fingers in there, because you will drop this thing as much as I've dropped it over the last day or so. But it is very robust, okay? I'm not saying crash it into a wall or anything like that, but it can take a tumble. It can take a bump or two, and it's going to be just fine. All right, so anyway, I added these little accessories on here. I have some other accessories coming from, I think, Start RC next week, which is going to be some protectors for these loops, as well as some landing gear and a few other things. You guys have seen me use some of their accessories for my other drones. I kind of keep it in my drone bag. But anyway, that's this guy. So if you guys are looking for a drone and you're interested in like FPV style flying, or another great purpose for this drone is going to be like for building inspections that don't require, thermal drones. If you're just doing fly-throughs, where you're able to, go up in different places and look around. Another cool thing this drone has is when you have the goggles on, there's a mode where you can put it into head mode or head tracking mode. And wherever you move your head, so if I move my head, the drone follows the movement of my head. If I look up, the drone camera looks up. If I look down, the camera looks down. If I turn or whatever it is, and that makes for a very unique flying style. So yeah, a lot of built-in tech. It's DJI, guys, so you expect it to be, off the chain, babies. All right. So we have one more accessory for this drone, and that is this right here. So like I said, this is the controller, and I have been dropping this thing too. I do recommend that you keep the lanyard on this, because this will slip out of your hands. But to add a little bit more grip, I did get this little silicone sleeve that you guys see here. And this just feels much better in the hands, guys. It feels like I'm not going to so easily drop this when I'm using this to fly the drone. Now, I do have another controller coming for this drone, because honestly, I like this controller. I like this controller if you're just doing like some general flying around. But for something more commercial, you need to be a little bit more precise. Even in real estate photography, you want it to fly level all the time, exactly where you want it to go, and turn the way you want it to turn. So a standard controller might be a better solution for you. So definitely check it out. Thank you, Louie. Thank you, Louie, for drawing me some art. I greatly appreciate it. But anyway, so that's the other little accessory if you guys are interested in that. Now, this was only $13.99 for this little sleeve here. All right. What else do we have? So the next item is backpack. So I already had a couple of backpacks, and I was looking for a small backpack to be able to quickly throw the drone, the goggles, the controllers, maybe another standard camera, a lens or two, or whatever the case it is. And I remember somebody sent me this a long time ago, and I've never really used it. This has a ton of storage pockets. You know, you can put, you know, a lot of different things in this. You got this whole section in the back here where you can, you know, drop in up to a 15-inch laptop or tablet, which is really nice. And you have a top handle here. You know, if you're one of those people that walk around like this, front pouch right here. Then inside here, let's go ahead and pop these off. Show you guys here. So inside here, you have more storage, you know, for, you know, like cables and mounts and lights and all of that kind of stuff. And then inside of that, another little pocket here. And this is where I would put the drone, the controller, the goggles, all of that stuff. I got a little bag area up here I can put other things in as well. So, you know, this is a bag that I would use like for, you know, a single day event. You know, I'm just going to be driving over somewhere where I'm going to be shooting locally, maybe some real estate, or I'm, you know, the bee photographer, videographer for a wedding that needs drone coverage. You know, this is a really nice little bag to carry. And like I said, you can put a lot of things in this bag, including a backup battery, not a large battery, but a backup battery you could put in here. You have pockets here on the side for like your water bottles and stuff like that. So you got a lot of storage with this guy. Really nice. And for your camera, you have a quick access door right here where you can just unzip this real quick. And if your camera's in there, you can reach in, grab the camera out, you know, take a couple of shots, whatever it is, stick the camera back in without having to, you know, break the whole bag down in order to gain access to some of your tech. Very small in comparison to some of the other backpacks that I've used. Now, you guys know the Blue Yeti backpack, the hands-free one, is one of my favorite backpacks, which is, hold on, let me get it, which is this backpack right here. So this is, I don't have this in the carousel right now, but this is the Blue Yeti hands-free one. This one does have a battery inside of it. So we have a 300 watt-hour battery in this backpack. A lot of storage. This is great for my big drone, and the small drone could all fit in here, and a camera, and, you know, some other, you know, stuff can go in here. Laptop, tablet, you know, different things. So I basically have a bag for every situation based on what it is I'm going to be doing. Maybe I'm just going to be doing photography exclusively. Then I got a totally different backpack I would use for that, for just, you know, cameras, lenses, strobes, and, you know, accessories, you know, filters, things like that. So it really just depends on what I'm going to be shooting, where I'm going to be shooting it, as to which bag I'm going to grab. All right, so for some reason, my phone is not connecting to the computer. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to restart this phone and see if it'll switch over so I can show you guys these two batteries. One of them I can just pick up, which I am going to do here. But let me go ahead and turn this phone back on, and hopefully it will reconnect to the computer and I can use it as a camera, because I didn't even think about it earlier today to make sure this was connected, because I actually went live late. I was about 5 minutes late on the stream because I was like busy talking about something else. And by the time I got around to it and looked, I'm like, oh, it is 6:55. I gotta go. All right, let me see what Hope is saying here. Good night, Richard. Did Richard leave? Where did Richard go? Richard's flying to Cleveland. What? Bro, you need to come down to Texas. Man, I'll get you a steak. I'll make sure that you have a bull ride. I'll let you ride around in one of my friend's big trucks, much bigger than my truck, okay? So plus I got the 2 motorcycles here. So yeah, we could do that thing, man. We could do that thing. All right, let me see. I don't know why this is not connecting. All right, it didn't connect. All right, that's okay. Let me just grab the battery. All right. Got to unplug a few things. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so the battery that I'm referring to is this battery right here from EcoFlow. This is a very portable battery. You got 2 AC plugs on this side. You have the individual buttons for turning on the power. You have DC, AC, 2 USB A's, 1 USB C. This will charge up to about 80% in less than an hour. You have an integrated handle, as you guys see here. On the back, you can charge this guy either with a solar panel with the right adapter, or you can charge it with the standard 3-prong plug that comes with it. Of course, if you have any of these type of batteries, you guys already know you probably got a bunch of these plugs laying around. I have one plugged into the wall back here behind my desk, and I kind of swap it between the 2 batteries that I normally charge up. Unfortunately, this one does not have the Qi charger built into it, but that's not a problem. This guy is only $179, guys, $179. Very portable. I'm not going to say it's lightweight because it's not. It's got some significant weight to it, but it's not unmanageable, okay? So if the power went out or something like that, you'd be able to charge your phone, your tablet, your Louis, yours. Your robots or whatever it is you need to charge up, this is going to be a good option for you. If you live in a state like I do, we are literally under weather warning right now. We were expecting the power to be out for days, and luckily that did not happen from the ice storm that rolled through. But I was ready. I had everything charged up. You guys can see this battery is at 99% right now, 99%. I know, Evans, you can't believe it. I can't believe it. But yes, all the batteries, I made sure they were at least at 90-something% in case the power went out, babies. All right, let me put this guy back over here. All right. What do we have next? So the next battery, because my phone didn't connect, for whatever reason, I'll have to fix that later. But anyway, is directly underneath me, and I can't easily show you guys, but I'll tell you about it. It is also from Blue Yeti. It is the Blue Yeti AC200. Now, I have the Max, but I'll show you guys what this looks like really quickly here. Let me just pop over to the product page so you guys can see what this battery looks like. All right, so here is the battery that I'm referring to that is directly underneath my desk. So we have, as you guys can see here, a variety of different ways of connecting. You have your standard 12 volt, you have your AC and DC power buttons here in the front. You have AC and DC plugs on the side. You have expansion buttons on the side here where you can connect additional batteries to this to expand it. Those are expansion batteries. So yeah, this is going to be great for your RV. This is going to be great for your home, for emergencies, for camping, all of that kind of jazz. So I have been using this same battery for over 3 years, guys. Over 3 years, I've had this battery here in the studio. And this guy right now is at 98%. So again, like I said, I charged everything up, anticipating bad weather. And if you're interested in that battery, you can get it here right now for only $749. $749. That's a great price as well. All right, so let's see what we got next. What is our last item in the carousel? All right, guys, so the last item in the carousel is our drawstring backpacks. You guys know I talk about these every single stream. Now, of course, you can use these drawstring backpacks for a variety of different things, including, reusable shopping bags, storage bags, These would have been great trick-or-treat bags. These would have been great, Christmas stocking style bags. Just add a little cotton around the top, to make it like a little Santa bag or something like that. So this is a win. Now, of course, you guys know what I use these for. Anybody who's been following me anytime know why I talk about these in every single stream is because we use these style bags to gift to the homeless in our community. Items that we source right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pen, pencils, underwear, socks, a variety of different things that we give out to them, to help them, in any way we can. Those little thermal blankets, reusable water bottles, those little sanitation tablets you can drop in water to purify water. Any of those things that we could find, we've accumulated lists over months and years. And seasonally, we look for different things, but some things are like staples. We look for every single month, and we buy them, and then we separate them into these backpacks, and then we have them with us when we go out. And if somebody's in need or somebody's flying a sign asking for food, asking for help, we just hand them one of those backpacks, and then we roll on down the road the way we do, trying to be good humans in a time where a lot of people might feel like giving up. We don't want that. We want to do everything in our power to encourage people to keep going, keep growing, keep building, keep, helping other people. It is a hand wash the other hand type of scenario, guys. Do good in the world, be a good human, and do all you can to encourage other people to do likewise. All right, so we're going to let Louie wrap it up for tonight before I give you my final good night. Hey, Louie, I would like you to let everyone know that you thank them very much for coming in and hanging out with us on Amazon and YouTube, and let them know we'll be back here in 48 hours, my man, to hang out with them again, hopefully to share some new tech, some old tech, some good tech. You know how we do.
You really know how to keep the energy buzzing and your audience engaged. Your passion for tech is contagious. Rome.
All right, I'd like you to thank everybody for showing up here tonight on Amazon and YouTube, and let them know we'll be back here in 48 hours.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight on Amazon and YouTube. We'll be back in 48 hours. See you then.
All right, is there anything else you'd like to say to them before we exit this stream?
Just keep exploring, keep learning, and stay excited about tech. Can't wait for the next stream. See you soon. Rome.
I agree, buddy. I agree. All right, you guys heard it. You heard it from Louie. Let's do that thing. Let's do that thing. Let's go. All right, my babies, stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, wear a mask when appropriate, take care of your loved ones. Get out there and create something amazing each and every single day. Guys, be the pebble in the pond. Be that light in the darkness. Help where you can. Do all you can to encourage others to do the same, guys. The lives and the blessings that we pass on to others will eventually round itself back to us. But even if it doesn't matter, because you put good, positive energy out into the universe, and that energy inspired others to keep doing good. If that's you, man, you are amazing. You are amazing. All right, guys, it's time for me to say the magic words. Say the magic words. Peace, peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. I am out of here. Mwah, love y'all, but I got to go make dinner. I'm out.